See what's new on the Burlington waterfront. Hey, now it's happening at the waterfront on Lake Champlain. Whatever the weather, there's so much to do on the new waterfront, the Burlington waterfront.
Hi, welcome to On the Waterfront. I'm your host, Mariah Riggs, and this month I'm excited to have Dillon Tanner, who is the founder and concierge of Mothership. Why don't you quickly tell our audience what Mothership is?
Mothership Monthly Film Festival is a monthly film competition where people have like 1 month based on one theme to create a film, which is then screened with all the other films that month at the end of the month. And then the live audience votes on one winner for that month, and that person then chooses the theme for the next month, and it just goes on forever.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't realize that. So the winner chooses the theme for the next month.
Oh yeah, you didn't know that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I
that's how
love
it works.
that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, so it's fully organic.
Yeah, it runs itself.
It just runs itself.
Self-perpetuating machine.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
I was just trying to take like some of the decision making out of my hands, you know, like.
Well, anybody who's run events knows that's the stroke of genius.
Yeah.
That's really a good way to operate.
Delegation. That's why I called myself the concierge.
That's
like,
now it all makes sense.
as many things as I can not do, the better. And the more people involved, the happier, bigger family it is.
Yeah, and then everybody feels like they have ownership.
Yes.
And then it becomes a real community. Because that's sort of how we ended up on the show, is because I've heard through the grapevine what an amazing program it is in the community. Yeah. And so it's really exciting. Now, I guess, how long have you been doing Mothership?
We're coming up on 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you started like spring of 2003?
It actually had, in June, it'll be 2 years.
Wow, congratulations.
Yeah.
That's really exciting.
Mm-hmm.
So, just kind of getting an idea so people can kind of understand it more. What's like a typical, some examples of like a typical like theme for a month?
Well, I'll give you what this month is.
Okay.
Vampire.
Vampires this month?
Yeah, I'm excited about this one. It's it ranges like, we've had a lot of sort of like multi-interpretive prompts.
Mm-hmm. Like what?
That are like Blue was the second one that we ever had, which is, I don't know, and it feels like we've sort of catered towards or had a lot of themes that have been like themes that you can interpret in many different ways. Mm-hmm. Thinking about like how broadly can people like, if somebody wants to have a really different idea than somebody else and still be able to make a theme for the same month.
Yeah, it's more esoteric.
Or
it's kind of
make
interpretive.
a film for the same month.
It's like more of an interpretive
Yeah.
kind of thing versus like something that's like very like, oh, train robbery.
Yeah, but those happen sometimes too, and those sometimes end up being some of the best months. Like, we had one, Afterlife, and that one was really sweet. And like Vampire, I'm expecting to be really good. June 7th, 8 p.m., Spiral House. Yeah, sometimes like ones that just feel like juicy. Mm-hmm.
And there's a little bit more meat to the bones.
Yeah, or blood.
Yeah, well, as the case with vampires, maybe.
Yeah.
It's a real thing. Yeah. So that's cool. So if you want to submit something, get to Spiral House on June 7th.
June 7th at 8 p.m.
8 p.m.
First Saturday of every month.
Wow. So that people can plan on that. And so there's been a really good response to this, it sounds like.
Yeah, it like kind of right from the beginning took off. I was really surprised, like the first screening that we had, the house was like pretty packed. And I think what is serving us is that it's, there's like many groups of people that are coming together to make films, so it kind of like brings you an automatic audience.
Everybody wants to do a film.
Yeah, so like there's like 10 films that have been made, and they all have a few friends, and that automatically brings in like a bunch of people. And
10 times 10 is 100 people.
Exactly. Yeah.
Which is another way that the way that you structured this self-propagates itself.
Yeah.
It's self-feeding. It's like its own self-feeding organism.
Exactly.
You know,
yeah.
kind of like let it run loose. Now now
Right,
you just
yeah.
are the concierge.
Yeah.
Wrangling.
Exactly. You're just kind of like putting like guards on it sometimes, you know, just making sure it stays together.
And you also work with 2 other individuals.
Yes.
With Mothership. And who are they?
Yes. I want to first say like I did start it with a person named Ishai Mercy, who helped me for several months, and that was awesome. And then for a while I was just doing it like on my own for like 6 months, and that got to be really overwhelming. And I think like Jake Jamis, who had made a film or had come to the fest, made a film and really appreciated it. He kind of saw that I was in triage mode, and he was like, "Let me come like plug up your wounds and jump on board." And at the same time, Daisy May, who is another member of Spiral House, which is where we host Mothership Monthly Film Fest, I kind of like begged our group, will somebody take this on with me? Like, one, just to help, and also like as a creative collaborator. Like I want to be able to like have this be a shared thing where we can talk through ideas, and I don't feel like I'm just doing this all on my own, because it's, you know.
But you also
fun.
might be a collaborative worker. I mean, some people just work better when they have other people to bounce ideas off and work with and engage in ideas. Sometimes like having other people help like motivate the creative process.
That is no doubt true, for like thinking of all the times I've tried to do something on my own.
Like just having that extra
Yeah.
input to like be
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm on the right track,
Yeah.
right?
Exactly.
It is so reinforcing and supportive. So I'm glad you've organically found your support. I did want to quickly talk too about Spiral House. So what is Spiral House?
Spiral House is like a downtown third space art collective. There's like 11 of us that run it together. And by being a member, you're paying your share of the rent for the space, and then also coming to these weekly meetings where we kind of decide what gets to happen in the space. So anyone that's a member can also be putting on their own events and like kind of doing whatever they want, as long as it's in accordance with our values and everyone else's.
In agreement.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, thank you for finishing that sentence.
Sorry. See again, collaborative. I hope you're okay with that.
Collaborative work.
Yeah,
here.
sorry
Yeah.
about that. Jumping in. Yeah. So that's really cool, because for some of you who aren't aware of it, I mean that's a really wonderful model for collaborative arts organizations.
Yeah.
Like a way to lift up individual artists, where like as a shared community you can afford rent, you can afford space where you can actually pursue your art, or have events or art openings or things that like help you as an artist
Yeah.
that you wouldn't financially be able to afford, because you have like a collective.
Yeah.
I'd say collective bargaining, but you have a collective unit, right? That's
Yeah.
able to do that.
It really, the fest gets its name from what it was before, which is called Mothership. And we didn't have that same model then of all sharing the rent and sharing the decision making. And there's a reason that Spiral House still exists now, and Mothership has gone by the wayside. It's that collaborative effort really like serves for longevity.
Yeah, it's like almost like its own dynamo, just kind of creating its own heat.
Yeah.
And like everything's kind of like working together. And also, especially when a lot of creative people are together. I mean, if you just look at art history, like some of the best like revolutions in art were because artists were working together and like changing how art was perceived.
Yeah. Yeah.
It really is true. It's a shared experience. And sometimes it's nice to have biofeedback, or just feedback in general from people that you're on the right track.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it just makes it feel like you're not making art in a vacuum, or you're not like trying to put together a movement or in a vacuum. You're like, you're all doing it together.
Yeah, it's nice having that support.
Yeah.
So, I did want to talk a little bit about your work. I know that you did have a documentary feature film come out, Roland and Mary, and I wanted to give you an opportunity to discuss Roland and Mary. What was it about? And so what was it about?
Well, in like 2019, I was living in a giant red bread truck with my partner at the time, and this thing was really good at falling apart. So, you know, anytime we'd like leave our station, we would probably break down. And we were doing a farming program in the Northeast Kingdom, and one time that we broke down was in the town of St. Johnsbury, and the people that we called was Roland's Wrecker Service. Okay. And they showed up on the scene, and they were just fascinating, hilarious, warm, open book characters. And they stayed in my head for like a year after that. So a year later I called them up and I was like, what do you guys think if I spent a winter just hanging out and filming every day? And that's what happened.
And they were cool with that?
I mean, yeah, they were. I mean, Mary, who's one of the main characters in this film, would always just be like, yeah, we'll see how it goes. And so that's kind of like what I had to go on. And I was like, well, I'm kind of making all these moves. Like I'm moving to St. Johnsbury and like getting a house here, or, you know, like renting a place here and like uprooting myself a little bit to like make this happen. And I was always like, yeah, we'll see. And but it did end up working out.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's great.
Together.
That's very cool. You know, I haven't seen it. I really kind of now really want to see it because I'm very curious.
Yeah.
There's a lot of character in the Northeast Kingdom. It can be really.
Yeah.
It's fertile ground for great documentary filmmaking.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It really is.
Lots of snow and hard living.
Yeah, and I can imagine wreckers in winter up in that particular part of Vermont.
Yeah.
Is like no joke.
There's a lot of activity. It's funny because like I think I went into that film thinking it would be a lot more about the calls.
Yeah.
Because I thought it would just be insanity the whole time, but like it really ended up being about their relationship. Oh, that's cool. And they're really funny together. They they have a lot of banter, but they also, I feel like there's like a lot of love at their core, and it's just about how they've been able to like support each other.
That's so cool. Yeah, so there was like a human. You went in there thinking it was gonna be like this kind of fun, live action, kind of on the call, crazy things happening, and it turned into like an interpersonal relationship piece.
Right. Yeah.
You know, which in some ways is so much more tangible and enriching as a viewer, which is great.
Yeah.
And it shows a lot as a filmmaker that you're able to pivot.
Yeah.
Accept the fact that maybe that was a story that needed to be told.
Yeah, it wasn't without a long period of indecision. Like, you know, like it took a long time in the editing to finally get down to like what it was really about.
You wouldn't be the first filmmaker to say that in the editing process they realized what the film was really about.
Yeah. It's my first feature doc, so I didn't know what I was doing. So
now I can't wait to see it. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Is it on
Please
YouTube?
do. It is on YouTube.
Okay, cool. So check that out. It's on YouTube. I'm gonna have to go check it out. I'm really curious. I'll tell you what I think, Dillon.
Please do. YouTube.com/@Dillon Tanner. It's on my page.
Gonna have to check that out. So I wanted to come back. So I want to come back quickly. With Spiral House, like, what kind of events do you guys have there?
Well, being that we have 11 different members, all of different stripes, artistic stripes.
Like what? Like, you know.
Well, we have a painter who has like a weekly art night.
Nice.
We have Daisy is also like a ceramicist, and we have another ceramicist. So there's a lot of like markets where people sell a lot of their trinkets and little guys.
Oh, that's so cool.
We've had like a lot of like drag shows. We have occasionally music.
Cool.
We have a musician on the squad. Yeah.
So it's really diversified.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're the film person.
Yeah, yeah. I'm like surprisingly
You're that guy?
the only film person.
You're the film guy.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, to find out more about Spiral House and events and those kinds of things, how would our audience find out about the different events happening at Spiral House?
Most of it goes through Instagram, so it's
Okay.
just spiralhouse.collective
Okay.
on Instagram. And then we also have a website, which just has like sort of like background information about
Yeah.
who we are.
Yeah, and what you do.
little bios and things.
That's pretty cool. So check out Instagram if you want to know what's happening
Yeah.
about markets, about art openings. It sounds like you guys have a lot of really fun, great events. And so
Yeah.
I assume the people that are watching this would be really interested.
Yeah, come to Spiral House. It's awesome. It's such an important thing. It's a third space in Burlington, and there's not many of these. So I don't know. It's a place where you don't have to go to a bar. It doesn't have to be a music show. You can do other kinds of things. I don't know. It's really valuable.
And meet people who might be interested in the same kind of things that you are.
Yeah, yeah. So
Which
it is
is
a
also-
gathering space as well.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
brings everybody together. And as we all know, we need more of those in Burlington. So that's fabulous.
Yeah.
And thank you guys for that.
Yeah.
That's really exciting.
welcome.
Yeah, yes, by the way. Getting back to Mothership, I kind of wanted to get more into the formula. So you do 12 different months with 12 different themes. People vote, there's a winner.
Yeah.
And the winner chooses the next month. So it's almost like, what was it, the chain letters? Yeah, you kind of got to pass it along. And then they go into the next one. But at the end of the year, you have an annual show. And so how does that work?
So Mothership Annual Film Festival is where we take all the winners of each of the 12 months and screen those together, sort of like tournament style. And then we vote on one winner for the year.
So one winner to rule them all?
One, yes. For those
The
Lord of
ultimate,
Rings
sorry, we just had a conversation. All right.
But it's also like our sort of yearly gala event. I mean, we've only had one, but
Okay, cool.
But we asked people to get dressed up, but we had sort of like a mullet version of getting dressed up. It was like like dressed up on top, but shorts on the bottom.
Oh my God, I love that.
Yeah, but people really just came.
You mean like Zoom meeting outfit?
Kind of, yeah, but like more like gala on top.
Yeah.
So
okay.
like elaborate red dress or like
Oh my gosh, that's so
a
cool.
tuxedo, but then like cargo shorts.
Yeah, or Bermuda shorts or some sort of
Yes.
crazy thing.
Yeah.
I love it.
But people came really dressed up. We had like a photo backdrop and.
Oh, cool. And so you had a photo booth.
Yeah, well, it was more like the red carpet thing where you have like the back banner. We just printed our logo a bunch of times.
Seriously, we need more of that in Burlington too.
Yeah.
An opportunity to get dressed up and have
Want
fun
the
like
people
that.
to feel fancy.
I love that. Well, we all need a moment to feel fancy. It feels good.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. So and usually that's in August, right?
We had it in August last year. Probably be in August again.
Okay, cool. So keep an eye out for that too, because that'll be a really fun event in August. I know there's not, everybody's outside, but there's not a lot of events and stuff, so that'll be really fun.
Yeah.
Super cool.
You'll come inside for this.
Now, I did think we should take an opportunity to watch a Mothership movie. So I wanted to introduce a Mothership movie. We're going to watch that right now. So enjoy the sample of a winning Mothership movie.
Ferns first appear in the fossil record 360 million years ago and have remained unchanged. Surviving 3 mass extinctions, the ferns reveal to us that extinction itself is a myth. Death is an illusion. Nothing dies. Everything continually resurrects. Life cannot cease. The ancients are with us now, right now. The dinosaurs are alive. They feed us. They never disappeared. God made dinosaurs, and dinosaurs made us, and we made love, and love made a mess, and we called it life. Triceratops, Brachiosaurus, Stegosaurus, Velociraptor. The pterodactyl soars into the future. They are watching us with loving eyes. They shape our world. They dream our dreams. They are the cornerstone of this civilization. Their hunger is my hunger. Everything tastes like chicken. Because chickens are dinosaurs, though some dinosaurs are vegan. Their grand and mighty bodies bask in the existence of this earth, this most holy earth, a sacred earth, so sacred we are free to live exactly as we desire, and we choose to burn it with love. We live as the dinosaurs live. Dinosaurs live as Jesus lives. Jesus lives inside my heart, and I live inside the heart of every dinosaur. I live within every brontosaurus, because my human nature emerges from the brontosaurus. And my body will become diamonds one day. When I was a young gay boy, I walked on the toes of my feet, and I knew that I was a Camptosaurus, a Campisaurus, Teesaurus, I said, because I was a gay little dinosaur boy. I am a terrible lizard boy. My hunger is ravenous. Oh, ancient ones, your blood fuels Henry Fordian dinosaur mobiles, fossils transubstantiated into life, just like Jesus. And I know Jesus loves every gay boy, just as every gay boy loves the Strachosaurus, loves the Triceratops. How miraculous that we can make dinosaurs out of dinosaurs. Plesiosaurus to polymers. Everything is dinosaurs. Our shirts, our toys, carpets, medical equipment. We make the dinosaurs human as we exist as dinosaurs, and everything made will be forever here, forever in the hearts of future Homo dinosexus sapiens. Anyone who denies humanity's dinosaur nature thusly denies God. This is called internalized dinophobia. Even though we love making love in the La Brea tar pits, this is the true origin of the Republic of California. With enough heat and pressure, my bones become coals, become diamonds, burning forever as tomorrow's dino wonders envisioned by the Henry Ford who lives eternally inside my lungs, and the dinosaurs are spewing into the sky. I'm breathing the ancient bodies of dinosaurs. Their sacred bodies enter my sacred body, and my sacred body enters the sacred body of the earth. Does this seem hot to you? We burn our homosexusaurusness, but fear not, we are the God, my lungs filled with the Jesus, and one day my children's children's children will breathe my body into their lungs in my Immaculatosaurus, pre-existent, ever-existing body of God. This holy earth, Dinotopia, is Pleasurosaurus. Parasaurolophus tasted was pleasure, a civilization in luxurious Tyrannosaurus rexal methylpentane, and what makes us humanosaurs is Dinosapiens. Does this turn you on? We love to burn that which we love. Dinosaur eleison, dinosaur eleison, dinosaur eleison, have mercy upon me, a sinner. Me and the T-Rex Athenal, the tyrant lizard keen, are epiphanously ultra God, made all accumulatus, sacred heart beating. The Jesusaurus Christodactyl loves me because the Bible tells me so, that I live inside his body. The object of my burning love is where I make my home on this holy earth.
Well, thank you, and welcome back. I'm so glad you enjoyed that. Getting back into our conversation. Getting back into you, Dillon, because I've always wanted to ask you this. So you're from Atlanta. How did you end up in Vermont?
Okay.
No,
Try to do this distinctly. Well,
Okay.
I was living in New York City in 2018, eating shit and going broke. And that was the time with this partner, we bought the same van that I later got picked up in by Roland and Mary. Oh. So we made an exodus from New York City.
Okay.
And
Been known to happen.
Yeah, been known to happen. So we made an exodus. We went to Vermont for a woofing program.
Woofing.
Yeah, it's work trade farming sort of thing.
Oh wow! See, I don't know about that. That's really cool.
Yeah, which was its own fascinating experience.
Yeah.
Um,
Had you ever farmed?
no.
Okay, because you're from Atlanta, you lived in New York. I mean, that's
no need.
trial by fire.
Yeah. So we did that. We got picked up by Roland and Mary. Went back to Atlanta, but then a year later, like kind of COVID road trip style, took off back up here, and
And the van made it.
different van.
Okay, I was.
Yeah, there was a separation.
Okay.
Classic COVID breakup, classic COVID road trip, back up to Vermont. Called Roland and Mary, and by the time I got there, I had like the plans in order to like start making this film.
Wow.
And then discovered that I had friends in Burlington, and just stopped over, and like a room happened to be open like the same like month that I arrived, and then I landed there and kind of fell in love with it. So
And you're still here.
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Good for Burlington. I'm glad it all worked out. It was serendipitous. It was meant to happen.
Yeah.
You're meant to stay here. That's really cool. Yeah, I mean, I always wonder, because I was born here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I left for 20 years, but I was born here. And I always wonder, so what did you like when you first got to Burlington? I'm curious. What did you like about?
I think coming from living in cities
Yeah.
a lot, I really took to the size, and also it's like a miniature version of a city.
Yeah,
So
we
it's-
punch above our weight.
Yeah, it's not like I didn't feel like I came here and there was nothing going on. It was like there's still plenty to do, but also I could bike around the whole city.
Yeah.
In like the matter of 15 minutes. The map of Burlington like fits in my brain. I really love the lake. And I'd always like, Atlanta is like a landlocked city. It's like one of the few major cities that's not on a body of water.
Yeah.
And I'd always like thought like if I live somewhere else, I'll live like on a body of water.
Yeah, you like the water.
And now the lake is like a magical, like
And
holy
the
place
East
for me.
River just doesn't quite.
You can't
No,
swim in it.
it's rough. It's a little bit different.
Yeah, I want to be able to go into the water.
Yeah, right. And not turn orange. Or
Yeah,
some,
yeah. I mean,
various-
there's the cyano, but sometimes it's not there.
Yeah, get that extra eyeball. It's like the Simpsons, right?
yeah.
You don't want to bother with that. Oh, that's pretty cool. All right, good. I'm glad to know our water source. As somebody on the waterfront, I appreciate that the water brought you here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Now, I mean, because it's so interesting you ended up in St. Johnsbury too. Because that is like up there.
Yeah, it's Vermont.
It's super. It's the Vermont that is kind of like indicative of what people I think sometimes think of when they think of Vermont.
Yeah. Yeah.
Up there, and so that's really cool. So do you tend to get the same people over and over again at Mothership, or do you tend to get like different submissions, or do you have regulars?
We totally have regulars. We have one very impressive regular who submitted to the first ever Mothership. Theme was Bones. They made a film called Sea Skeleton.
Wow.
And his film won that month. And it was the first film he'd ever made. And every consecutive month after that, he's made a film.
Wow.
So he's like our perfect attendance,
Scorecard.
like shining star student.
And somebody who just and because you did this program, somebody was exposed to something that they like loved that maybe they wouldn't have, which is so rewarding. I think anybody who starts an event or curates an event or does something like that is always hoping that they're able to touch on somebody
Yeah.
and like set them on a path that maybe they wouldn't have been on without your program.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's-
First, I want to say shout out Ryan. But yeah, that is kind of like, it's been sort of an inspiration machine because it's something that I've seen happen a lot of times is like somebody will come to the fest that has never made a film before and they'll feel particularly moved by one of the films that they see over that night, and then they'll make a film for the next month.
Wow.
Like their first one, and that's kind of like the dream come true.
Oh my God, I love that.
It's like, yeah, that's it. It's
In my heart and soul, I am I believe in combat filmmaking, so that's, I think that's just fabulous.
The touch of competition, I think helps.
Yeah.
You know, it's very, it's a warm and welcoming environment, but not without a little dagger's edge.
No, you know, because it makes it like you're striving to something.
Yeah.
It's not like everybody's just going to be shown.
Yeah, people want to win.
And people want to win, so it kind of elevates that to another level, right?
Yeah.
And if you don't win one month, you know that like maybe you can come back another month and do another submission.
Yeah.
And that'll, maybe you can get better, you know? So like there's that constant fight maybe to become a better, you know, combat street filmmaker.
Yeah, I think like some of our best filmmakers, this is one crew that has been really consistently making films, and they always come in second. But like they're my favorite because they like continue to improve and they continue to try things like every time, and they're putting out the most like creative
content
films.
Oh, that's
and yeah. I don't
Have they
think
won
that
yet?
They haven't, but I don't think that if they win they'll like drop off the face of the earth or something. But I kind of imagine, like, I'd like to think that it's like keeping them sharp.
Yeah, and they're working towards something, right? There's a reward at the end of
yeah.
it too, which is motivating for human beings in general. Let's be honest, right?
It's true. They might win and they might just retire, and that would be a tragedy.
Well, we hope not.
Yeah.
You know, once you win, you got to hold on to the title, right? You know, it's
Right.
kind of a thing.
Right.
Has anybody ever won twice in a row?
No one has ever won twice in a row, but we have had two-time winners.
Okay.
We've had like 3.
No Triple Crown
4
winners?
two-time winners.
Yeah.
No threes. No
Yeah,
threes
none,
yet.
none of the threes yet. Wow,
No.
that's kind of cool.
No.
See, so you always have something to aspire to,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? It never ends. You'll end up with like a Hall of Fame or something.
Yeah.
Pretty awesome. So if you want to join the Mothership Hall of Fame, please remember, it's always the first
Saturday of every month at Spiral House, 19 Church Street, 2nd floor, above Tina's Home Designs, 8 p.m.
8 p.m. And make sure you check that out because it's pretty awesome. And then the other thought is check out Spiral House. They have a lot of great events. They have a lot of like great markets. It's a wonderful way to support local and our local artists, and they do great work. So make sure you check it out. Check out Mothership and enjoy our local film scene. And Dillon, thank you so much for all you've done for local film in Burlington. I really appreciate it. I know everybody appreciates it. So thanks again.
Yeah. Thanks for saying
And thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for having me, Mariah.
Yeah, thank you, Dillon. And thank you guys for joining me this month. And I'll see you right back here next month. Take care.